Welcome to Startups. I'm your host, Aiden Spark. Today on Startups, imagine building a global empire fueled by social justice, only to face a gut-wrenching decision that could betray everything you stand for. Today, we explore how Ben and Jerry's faced this exact dilemma and what it means for staying true to your values when the stakes are sky-high. Picture a half-eaten ice cream cone melting on a counter in Burlington, Vermont. Around it swirls the joyous chaos of Free Cone Day at Ben and Jerry's, children's laughter mixing with the sweet scent of waffle cones. But the man who helped create this scene, Ben Cohen, stands quietly at the edge of the celebration. His expression holds an unexpected weight. For him, ice cream was never just about taste. It couldn't be. Born without a sense of smell, Ben Cohen navigated a world where flavors remained perpetually muted. Yet this apparent limitation would become the foundation of a revolutionary approach to ice cream, business, and social change. Have you ever wondered how your greatest perceived weakness might actually be your hidden superpower? In a Brooklyn schoolyard, two boys found themselves perpetually picked last for teams. Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield bonded over their shared status as the slow kids in gym class. You know that feeling when you're the one who doesn't quite fit the mold, who moves to a different rhythm than everyone else. For Ben and Jerry, this outsider perspective became their first collaborative venture, friendship. Their initial dream wasn't ice cream at all. They wanted to open a bagel shop, but the equipment costs proved prohibitive. Sound familiar? When your first plan hits a wall, the real test isn't whether you give up, but how you adapt. For $5, they invested in a Penn State correspondence course on ice cream making. Ben's inability to smell or fully taste forced him to focus on what he could experience: texture. While others obsessed over subtle flavor notes, he created ice cream you could feel, chunky, swirly, packed with character. In 1978, with just $12,000 between them, Ben and Jerry transformed an abandoned gas station in Burlington into their first ice cream shop. The space was humble, but their vision was ambitious. Every scoop represented more than dessert. It was a statement about doing business differently. They hired locally, sourced ethically, and treated their community like family. When was the last time you saw a business that felt less like a transaction and more like coming home? Their approach to ice cream making broke every rule. While other premium brands focused on smooth, elegant textures, Ben and Jerry stuffed their pints with massive chunks of cookies, brownies, and candy. Industry experts called it amateur. Customers called it revolutionary. The chunky texture wasn't just a gimmick. It was Ben's way of experiencing ice cream in the only way he could fully appreciate it. His limitation became their signature. Success brought its own challenges. Major competitors tried to block their distribution, attempting to squeeze the upstart company out of the market. But Ben and Jerry didn't just fight back with lawyers. They fought back with heart, launching the "What's the Doughboy Afraid Of?" campaign that turned their David versus Goliath battle into a public celebration of the underdog. When was the last time you turned an obstacle into an opportunity to showcase your values? If you're enjoying Startups, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Become an Innovation Engine. Steal exact frameworks of billion-dollar breakthroughs like Netflix and Tesla. Now, back to the episode. Cherry Garcia became an icon, not just of flavor innovation, but of their willingness to embrace the unconventional. Each new creation reflected their growing confidence in being different. The ice cream pint itself evolved into a canvas for their values, colorful, quirky designs housing not just dessert, but messages about social justice, environmental responsibility, and community engagement. Have you ever considered how your product could become a platform for your deepest beliefs? In 2000, Ben and Jerry faced their greatest challenge. Unilever offered $326 million for their company. The number was staggering, but the stakes were higher than money. This wasn't just a business decision, it was a question of legacy. Could their values survive corporate ownership? Would their commitment to social justice withstand shareholder demands? Think about your own non-negotiables. What would you do if someone offered you everything you wanted, but it meant risking everything you believed in? The sale went through, but victory tasted bittersweet. Ben watched as corporate policies began to reshape his creation. The company he'd built on texture and social conscience now answered to quarterly reports and profit margins. You could see it in his eyes during board meetings, the struggle between success and soul, between growth and authenticity. When do you compromise and when do you stand firm? But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Instead of retreating, Ben channeled his energy into activism. The Ben and Jerry's Foundation became his new platform for change, proving that influence doesn't always require control. He demonstrated that sometimes letting go of your creation allows its impact to grow beyond what you could achieve alone. When was the last time you transformed a loss into a larger opportunity? Remember that melting ice cream cone from the beginning. There's a reason Ben watched it with such complexity. His inability to smell, once seen as a limitation, had forced him to experience ice cream differently. This difference became the foundation of an empire. His weakness created a strength no one else had thought to develop. What if your perceived limitations are actually your greatest differentiators? This isn't just a story about ice cream. It's about the courage to let your differences define your success rather than limit it. Ben Cohen couldn't fully taste his own product, yet he created flavors that millions crave. He lost control of his company but expanded his impact. He proved that business could prioritize both profit and purpose. So here's your challenge. What's your equivalent of chunky ice cream? What unique perspective do you bring that others might dismiss as a limitation? Your difference, that thing you've been trying to overcome or hide, might just be your superpower. The world doesn't need another copy of what already exists. It needs your distinct texture, your unique way of experiencing and changing things. Don't just adapt to the world's expectations. Create something that forces the world to adapt to you. That's the real sweet success. On the next episode of Startups, Ben and Jerry proved that business can be a potent force for good, but what happens when a company's mission becomes its core product? Imagine a young entrepreneur witnessing a simple, yet heartbreaking need on a trip abroad. What if I told you that single moment sparked a revolution in how we think about consumerism and giving back? This week's theme of social impact and innovation continues as we explore the story of a company built on the one-for-one model. Prepare to discover how empathy, determination, and a touch of frustration with injustice can birth a business that changes lives, one step at a time. You won't want to miss how this founder turned altruism into a sustainable and thriving enterprise. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course. Become an innovation engine. 7 days, $7 billion frameworks. Transform from idea person to startup innovator by learning the exact playbooks that built Netflix, Tesla, and SpaceX. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/su. Thanks for watching.